So I just put up that post about self-discovery and self-awareness and self-obsession because I've noticed a lot of people switching gears on Instagram, a lot of fitness trainers types, usually that's what happens. You live as a professional bodybuilder, whatever it is, a life that sometimes has to become very obsessive for you to be successful in the mainstream. And that can create mental illness in us. Not all of us, some people thrive on it. And I understand, especially with some of the drugs that some of the athletes use, how it sort of destroys your body, and then it takes a very long time for you to repair from all the damage you did to win a trophy and to be seen as perfect, as a flash in the pan, because every year new titles are given out and you're not necessarily the best anymore. So basically, once you've gone through a life that's sort of depleted you, and that doesn't have to necessarily mean adults, athletes, it could be a life where you followed a career goal, a career path that burned you out, and just emotionally at the end of it, and maybe even physically, you're depleted, you're finished, you're done. So your body's not cooperating, your mind isn't cooperating, and you're suffering maybe physical manifestations of that in terms of pain, or emotional manifestations of all of that high stress period in your life, as anxiety, depression, and so on and so forth. And so what happens is a good chunk of us decide that we're going to sort of flip the script and pursue a life that's more balanced and a life that's more mentally healthy. And that means adding things like yoga, meditation, very nutritious food, getting enough rest, maybe some supplementation to bolster some internal processes that have broken down with our different, our digestive system or our endocrine system or something like that. But what can happen along that journey, especially if we're predisposed to not feeling good enough unless we're in the spotlight, not feeling good enough unless we have the best job, if we're winning essentially at life, by bland stereotypes made up by society, not do we feel like we're personally winning, we start to obsess again. Am I meditating the most? Am I juice fasting the most? Am I, relaxing the most? Am I sleeping the most? And so instead of focusing your obsession on your job, your kids, being Mr. Olympia, whatever it is, now you're obsessing about being the most woke, being journaling the most, meditating the most, recording everything you do, to see if you're the healthiest, blood tests, infusions, injections, all this shit. It's just the reverse, or the antithesis of what you were running away from, but it's all operated in the same way. So now what you've managed to accomplish is, say, not injecting yourself with different steroids or something like that, or fat burners or something like that, or doing a job that's stressing you out to the point where you're having nervous breakdowns all the time, or corporally parenting your children. So maybe now you're more relaxed about your fitness, you're more relaxed about your job, or so you think. You change your parenting skills with your kid, but now you're obsessed with doing it this new way. So you haven't really walked away from that obsessive behavior, that not good enough behavior. You've now created new benchmarks in a wellness arena instead of maybe a competitive one. Maybe that's the best way to put it. If you've stopped being competitive in life, now you're just being competitive in wellness, and it's awkward, and it doesn't address the mental health issue that's behind all of that either you started out with or that was created through some pursuit that you decided to undertake. And so, are you really healthy, or are you just obsessing about something else? And because it has broccoli and sensory deprivation tank floating in the regime, that means that it's better for you. It's not, because your brain is still sick. Even if you can manage to heal your body a little bit, you never will heal fully because your brain is still sick. So it's basically a get real post. If you went from obsessing about exercise all day every day and your food all day every day, and this is just the easiest thing to me to relate, because this is very typical. So you're obsessed about your health and fitness, and not even health, just fitness, being magazine cover quality fitness, to now being, you know, knowing all the yoga sutras and, you know, doing ayahuasca adventures in the name of open-mindedness, to the point where you still don't feel like you found yourself, but you're spending a lot of money and time throwing yourself into wellness pursuits. I implore you, if it's taken a long time and you're still not feeling like a whole human being, please take a really good look at your mental health, because you could just be flip-flopping from one obsession to the next, and that's not healthy. Have a think about it. Check out my post. It's coming next, and see if that resonates with you. If you need help, let me know. But don't flop from one obsession to the next. It's just going to make you more sick. Take care.